Hi, I'm Afualo, and this is my first time eating a British Sunday roast.
Everybody remembers their first time. Drew Afualo, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. There's so many cameras. Team, they have a whole crew here.
We have a lot of cameras and we have a lot of meat and vegetables in front of us. And that's because you've never had a British Sunday roast before, but you have had some experience with British food. Tell me about the first time you had British food.
Yeah, I terrorized them because I didn't have a very good experience. I tried it 4 times and it was all bad. And so I was like, but I did have fish and chips in a pub and I was rocking with that. I really liked that.
You did your diligence. You tried the thing.
I tried 4 times.
How many British people tried to convince you that you should like beans on toast? Because that's their thing. They can't believe that people don't like it.
I know, like thousands. And also they were so mad at me about peas. I was like, don't put one more pea next to my fry.
Guys, we're 86ing the peas. We're 86ing the peas.
No more peas. I can't take it
for
anymore.
Drew.
I was like, make all your food this, which is the fish and chips. So I was like, make all of it this.
Speaking of first things you've ever done, you wrote your first book, which is called Loud, Accept Nothing Less Than the Life You Deserve.
Yes.
My favorite part about that is you refer to yourself as a tangible consequence for Bad Men Online. Most people know you for roasting Bad Men Online, and it never really clicked the reason why until you used the phrase, I am the tangible consequence. Because so many men have acted without that tangible consequence for so long. When was the first time that a man tried to make you feel less than?
The first time was probably the first like crush I ever had when I was in probably like kindergarten, 1st grade. I was a very large child.
Same.
I was 5'4" when I was 10. I remember I was like in love with this kid in my class, and I used to like write his name and my name together. And I finally told him, and he was like, "Oh, I like you too." And I was like, period.
Got him.
And then he told my friend at the time the same exact thing, and then he told me, "Well, I would like only you, but you're too tall. Like, you're taller than me, and I don't like that." And I was like, well, guess what? I don't like you. And guess what? You're ugly. And guess what? I hate you. But I was really mean immediately, and then I went home and cried. Like a pimp, you know?
Real pimps cry. All right, so we're gonna get this roast started. We got some onions sitting in the bottom. The idea of a British Sunday roast is that people would go to church and they would go for hours and hours and hours. This is back in literally dating to the 1400s. And they would just throw a giant cut of meat with a bunch of crap underneath it, a bunch of vegetables, parsnips, rutabagas, whatever you got. And then when they would come back from church, everything would be cooked.
Okay.
There's also other myths.
Like a crock pot type situation.
OG crock pot, except I imagine a ton of like medieval houses burned down all the time.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
They had plagues to worry about. So we're gonna start layering all of our stuff. We got onions, we're gonna throw in some parsnips. You mess with parsnips?
They're like a carrot, right? Like they're in the carrot family?
Yeah, it's kind of like I like worse carrot is what I call it.
Is it sweeter or is it?
No, way less sweet, way more starchy, but there's also this what I can only call a farty tang. Oh, sorry, like a
Josh, that sounds
Am I good
yummy.
at selling food to you? I got no connection to the Brits, you know. I don't need to cape for this. We're also gonna drop some carrots on top. Tell me about the first time you realized that there was a power in clapping back.
Probably, I wrote about this in my book, but like one of the first times I ever like physically put my hands on a man was like when I was in middle school. And this guy, he did something to my sister that I didn't like, and my sister didn't like. She was very upset. And so I beat him up, but I did attack him physically.
We're talking like MMA, get in the guard, ground
Yeah,
and
like
pound?
I literally ran up behind him and I like 2 hands shoved him to the ground. And I jumped on top and I was like, I'm gonna kill you. And then I was like, It was very like that scene in Lilo and Stitch when she jumps on Myrtle and she starts just molly-whopping her. That was me.
We gotta animate that for you.
Yeah, that was me, but to a man. And then I got sent home, and I remember my mom asked me, like, she told me, like, just tell me what happened. So I explained what happened to my sister and why I did that, and then my mom was like, okay, well, I'm proud of you for standing up for your sister. You're never gonna get in trouble for defending her. But my mom said, can I give you some advice? And I said, yeah. She said, don't tell people you're gonna kill them because then it's a crime. I was like,
that's smart. Mom's looking out for the legalistic right here. Yeah. Do not make terroristic threats.
Exactly, because I did tell him, I'm gonna kill you. Do you hear me? I was telling him, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna kill you. And I meant it. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
I was being for real.
First of all, I'm rubbing down this, if you couldn't tell, I'm rubbing down a giant piece of meat. This is a sirloin roast. We're rubbing it down in oil, salt, and pepper. We're just gonna throw it right on there. We're gonna pop that in the oven. Were there any surprises after writing your first book? Like things you didn't expect to come out of yourself?
I wasn't expecting for it to be so therapeutic, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because I'm actively in therapy, but you know, some of the stuff I wrote about, I've like unpacked in therapy, and you know, writing about it actually helped me unpack it even more and like kind of make more peace with it and feel better about it. So it was like, that was probably a part I wasn't expecting to happen, but it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
What was the biggest therapeutic like result from it? Was there something specifically that you were like, oh, this is something that like I've never actually worked through?
Yeah, there is a part in the book where I talk about my views on kids and like why I feel the way I do about having them. And there is a line that I wrote, and I joke about this a lot with my family and my team, but like I wrote this line and it made me really emotional when I wrote it, my own writing. But then I was like, I kind of ate that one line. Like, she's an author. But I did write, I realized in that moment that I didn't want to be a mom, I wanted to be my mom. And so like that was my confusion, I think, with wanting to be a mom. Well, thanks to my genius writing, so.
I mean, you are an incredible
I'm brilliant.
And like you're an incredible communicator, and that was like your profession, right? You were in sports broadcasting, or that was the original dream job.
Yes.
When was the first time you realized that sometimes your dream job isn't your actual dream?
Oh, that's easy, when I got fired.
Yeah, it's a great way to realize it when they're like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, when they ask you to leave immediately. Nothing makes you go, maybe I should do something else when you get fired. Yeah, me getting fired was really a hard reset for me.
Also probably like a great way to, not that there's any shortage of misogynistic men to get exposed to in the world, but like probably a great breeding ground for that, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, in sports, yeah. I mean, it was obviously a very like tight-knit boys club working there, like working in the NFL.
Have you ever had Yorkshire pudding?
No, I haven't, but I heard they're good.
The Yorkshire pudding to me is like a really awesome culinary innovation, and it's really sick. So what we're doing right now, we have little tins in there. I got raw egg dripping around everywhere. You signed the anti-salmonella clause here?
I didn't.
Drew didn't sign the anti-salm paper?
But it's okay. Y'all have no shortage of money. I'll just sue you.
That's great. Honestly, do it. Someone needs to. Better you than somebody else. But no, we got some beef tallow heating in these little pans right here. The idea is you make this like kind of loose batter, and then you pop that into like a super hot pan, and it puffs up immediately and just rises.
I watched the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, you're a pro then.
Yeah, I'm into that show. Love it. I love that they have no prize.
Yeah.
There's just like, I'm just here to bake.
It feels very British.
Yeah, like if that was in America, they'd have to kill each other or something. But in Britain, they're like, let's just bake for fun.
Dude, they tried to do an American version, and it was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy. If you know Jeff Foxworthy.
Who's that?
He's like this, he literally was one of the original rednecks of comedy, which is, you know, interesting person.
When I think of them, I'm like, baking.
Yeah, right? And Paul Hollywood came over, and immediately...
Oh, my guy, my king.
Immediately, two of the hosts like had an affair with each other, and like it was an entire thing. It was like we Americanized it so quickly.
Yeah, so quickly.
Good for us. Way to go. All right, I'm gonna try and not mess this up.
Okay.
Especially with you in front of me. I'm nervous now. If you want to completely roast me for doing anything wrong,
never.
please.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding?
All
you
right.
got a real positive energy about you.
Okay. Oh God, we're fine. No, we're totally cool. We're chilling. True, just keep calm, man.
You're doing way better than I ever could. So
We gotta work fast. It's gotta stay hot. Right.
I feel like I'm at a
grease.
science museum. You know those ones where they put their hands in the tanks and they get to touch algae?
Yeah, just
That's how I feel
don't
right
tap
now.
on the
I'm
glass. I will try and break through and bite. It is what I do.
Yeah,
It's a self-defense mechanism. It just happens. All right, these are going in the oven quick. Gotta work quick. Oh God, it's like one of those egg and a spoon races.
Right. Like Cutthroat Kitchen. Have you ever watched that one?
Where Alton Brown's just like, you have to make a perfect beef Wellington, except I'm gonna strap you to a bed and tickle your feet.
I'm gonna put this bomb on your chest. Good luck.
I'm injecting a powerful neurotoxin into your blood.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh God, I think it's technically part of the Saw franchise. Roasted potatoes. That's what we're doing next. Do you self-identify as a potato girly?
Hell yeah. A carb girl, a starch. Hell
Dude,
yeah.
carbs and, I mean, hey, if you love carbs and starches, British food is where it's at. We're gonna get these infused with a little bit of, we got duck fat and we got beef tallow in there. If you wanna help me with this is like a mythical kitchen tradition.
Ooh.
We did develop, I think, the world's most efficient garlic crushing technique. It's called the palm heel strike.
Oh, okay.
Very popular in Japanese mixed martial arts. You gotta take the strong part of your palm right here and you wanna stack the elbow over the top and then it's just gonna be a quick, ice.
Ooh. Me not
Drew, what
doing-
happened?
Me not doing anything at all. Hello.
Hell yeah, we got
wished
it. Crack one more.
Okay.
The first one's always the hardest. Hell yeah.
Period.
Do you cook?
No, never really. I every time I think I'm like, I can cook, I just like don't like it, I guess. I
Fair.
get bored, honestly.
Yeah.
I made like a vegan mac and cheese for Thanksgiving because I have a very severe lactose intolerance. So as soon as we started putting those cashews in a blender, I was like, hey, I'm bored. Hey, I'm over it.
We're eating blended cashews for Thanksgiving now. This
My
is
boyfriend
it.
loves to cook though, so like he's really good too. So he says I slow him down, so I sit down like I am right now and I yap.
You're
We're
great
all-
at yapping. He's
Look
great
at
at
us.
cooking.
There you go. Match made in heaven.
I feel like
That's why
I'm-
I was like, I can sit here and entertain.
I'm getting the Afualo home experience.
There you
here.
go. Exactly.
All right, so you started your TikTok in 2020
Yes.
during the pandemic. Do you remember the first thing that you bought with your money? Like your first splurge purchase after you were like, oh snap, this is like a real career.
I mean, like, one of them was a bag. I do remember I never thought I would ever be able to afford a designer bag. So I bought a bag. But I think the first, like, for real one, I bought a car.
Oh snap.
Yeah, I bought my first car.
Do you remember the first date you went on with Peely?
Went to the Orange County Fair, the OC Fair.
Yep. Oh, that was my home fair growing up.
Right. I do remember he had been inviting me to it forever. I was ignoring him for a long time because he pissed me off about something. I can't even remember what it was. I wish I could because I'm sure it's funny. But we went to the fair and we went as friends initially.
No one goes to the fair as friends.
Yeah,
When you're eating a
yeah.
fried pickle together, that's romance
Yeah.
right there.
And we went as friends and he like paid for everything. He was very nice and like we knew each other since high school, so we like knew each other as friends. But then I remember at the fair I was like nervous and so I got drunk. Like I got so drunk, like just sitting and I was like
I was about to ask you when's the first time you got thrown out of a county fair, but I guess this is
yeah, like two birds, one stone, same story. I remember I got really drunk and I thought I was keeping it real cool. I was like, he doesn't know that I'm hammered right now. And I do remember too, when we went to the fair, we ran into a buddy of his that he knew like through football. It was so strange because the next day he hung out with that same guy and he was like, did you meet her on Tinder? And then my boyfriend goes, Drew? No, I've known her since high school. And he was like, oh, okay. I was just curious. Probably a few days later, I got like, you know on Tinder, they used to have like super like things on Tinder and it would tell you a million times like, oh, you have a super like, you have a super like, you have a super like. I was scrolling through to get rid of it and it was his buddy. And he had super liked me.
Oh,
so that's why he thought
man.
we met on Tinder. And I was like, isn't this your friend from the other night? And he goes, do you care if I make fun of him for it? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. And then now look at us 7 years later.
That was when you were instantly bonded.
Yeah, we're like, you want to torture men too? Period.
Do you remember the first moment when you realized after that first date that like, oh, this might be like the one?
He was just very intentional. Like, he was very like, I want to see you tomorrow. And I was like, damn. Okay, fine. What time? Like, that's what I kept to him. Okay, what, like 4? Okay, sounds good. He was just so intentional with me. And so, like, I really want to see you. I want to hang out. And so I remember one time I kind of like fibbed a little bit because I got nervous. I was like, this feels like it's getting serious and I need to like not. I was supposed to text him what time to meet me to go to practice with my little brother because he was in Pee Wee football at the time. I never texted him because that felt too serious. I was like, well, now we're involving family. And so I lied and said I fell asleep and forgot to text him. And then when he saw me, he was like, you didn't forget. And then I said, I just felt bad. I didn't want you to have to feel forced to do anything you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't do anything I don't want to do. So if I tell you I want to see you, it's because I want to see you. And I was like, damn!
That's hard.
You want me so bad. You're like literally in love with me, okay? Fine.
All right, so we took all the drippings from here. We toasted up the flour in it to make the base of the gravy. We're adding in stock. I'm gonna add in a little bit of kitchen bouquet, browning, and seasoning sauce.
Sure.
Nobody likes brown foods like the British. That was so much, dude. I thought there was a stopper on it. If you want to take a shot, go for it.
I'm interested to look at it.
Oh, that's perfect. It's so brown. We got the potatoes roasting. Are you getting hungry, dude? I'm
Yeah, it smells really good.
Drew, here you got it. Your first ever full Sunday roast. I can throw the peas in the trash if you like.
No, I definitely want to try them.
So I'm going to carve up this lovely sirloin roast. But tell me about your first major accomplishment and how it made you feel.
I think my senior year of college, I had to do like in my journalism capstone class, I had to do like a long form narrative piece. I had to follow someone for like 3 months-ish. And I wanted to do mine on Tua Tagovailoa because he was huge at the time. And so I really wanted to profile him, and everyone that doubted me was like, well, he doesn't talk to anyone, their family's very private, which I knew, but he's someone, I'm someone, I kind of figured I'll lean heavy into that. And it worked. I actually got to go to Alabama, and I watched his first like A-Day game and spent a lot of time with his family, went to church with them, did all that stuff, and I got to write my whole piece, and that was the first time I felt like really accomplished, because everyone told me I couldn't do it. They said I couldn't do it. And I came out on top, and that story is actually what got me my job at the NFL. So.
Wait, that is actually an incredible piece of your lore that I had no idea about.
Yeah, the lady who hired me at the NFL was born and raised in Tuscaloosa, so she's a big Alabama fan. And his rookie season at Alabama, I got to be a part of it. So it was very, very cool.
Can I serve you some Game of Thrones ass beef?
Please do. I'm gonna eat like a Viking right now.
But yeah, no forks necessary whatsoever. Hold on, I'm gonna grab you. You gotta put the Yorkie next to it.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna just serve you with the knife. We're doing this, dude. Get some onions on there.
I do love an onion.
You gotta flood the whole thing with gravy. Parsnips, the best part of the entire meal. Would you like me to flood your plate with gravy, or would you like to flood yourself?
I could do it.
Please, I wanna see you go.
Okay, ooh.
This is a very British.
Put it on the
cut.
pud too, I assume.
The pud, not the pud.
I'm trying to be part of your culture. British people.
You gotta
forgive me for what I said about a breakfast.
All right, peas.
Oh yeah, I'll take some.
You gotta get some with the extra butter on the peas.
Wherever's.
Are you getting like flashbacks?
See, they really do eat like it's World War II. I'm a little confused. Like,
that was their peak. That was when they were like, we did it, y'all.
They eat like they're rationing in the streets. Like the polio vaccine hasn't come out yet.
I want to like cheers our plates.
Oh
like,
my
can
God,
we do that? Just like
cheers.
Damn, dig
to the
in.
Brits. Okay, I'm gonna do the meat first.
Yeah.
Me pretending I use knives at home. Okay. That's delicious. Mm-hmm. That gravy's fire.
Mm-hmm. The gravy makes it. The entire cuisine is very gravy based.
I'm gonna try this potato. Mm-hmm. That's fire. Mm-hmm. That's the star. Make your food this. Y'all are on some with that. That's really good.
You try the Yorkie yet?
Not yet, no. Is there any like science to it? You just kind of bite it?
Oh, you just bite it, like tear it off. The outsides get like nice and crusty, and the insides are like kind of like floppy and wet.
Well, I'm rocking with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? I forgive you, Brits, for ruining my British breakfast experience. I forgive y'all.
Dude, there's one more first we gotta talk about, and that is your first ever Instagram photo that you posted. You need to answer for it.
You know what? I'm really glad. I can I be honest about something? When I blew up, I cleaned my Instagram. I'm so glad I did, because that was not my first post.
Do you remember what the real one was?
I dressed as an avatar, like the blue people, for Halloween. I'm a big Halloween girl. And I was late to school because I painted myself blue. And I walked around all day like that. I know you're wondering, was it hot? Yes, of course it was. And I sweat almost all of the paint off on the lower half of my face. And I still thought I was like killing it. I was like, I just look so good, I need to take a picture. And I took a selfie, and that was my first picture. And when I saw it, I said, oh, delete.
Drew, you have been an incredible guest, and your book is incredible. Everybody check out Loud, accept nothing less than the life you deserve. So, seriously, a huge congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this delicious meal. Brits, I forgive you. Josh redeemed y'all, okay? Y'all took home gold.
Brit, you owe me. Let me come over there and, I don't know, get some free healthcare or something. Whatever else you're known for.
Well, let me know if you're down.
And thank you all for liking, subscribing, all that stuff. We got more episodes coming out. We're going to keep eating this beef with our hands. Great job palm heel striking, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I've practiced a lot on the men in my life.
We'll see y'all next time. Face the reality of mortality head on with our new Last Meals hat and tee, available now at mythical.com.